Good afternoon and welcome again to the Caribbean Food and Beverage Expo 2023 at the Center of Excellence. Again, if you would like to see all our panel discussions that we've been having all week since, well, not all week, since Wednesday, you can check out the SouthX YouTube channel, as well as we are broadcasting live via Freedom 106.5 FM. Good afternoon, I am Samantha Best. And this time around, we want to discuss keeping up with consumer trends. And we have two of the most I would say suitable persons for this particular topic, Catherine Bethel. And Catherine is a dedicated entrepreneur who co-founded Bee's Homemade Ice Cream over 36 years ago. And with her extensive experience in business and MBA from Henley College of Business Management in the UK and certifications from Action Coach and the John Maxwell Leadership Institute, Catherine has become a trusted mentor and coach for aspiring entrepreneurs. So welcome, Catherine.
Thank you
so much. So glad to have you here with us.
I'm happy to be here.
And we also have with us Chef Bridget Joseph, who graduated from Trinidad and Tobagos Hospitality and Tourism Institute with a degree in culinary management with additional training at top hotel chains in the Caribbean and restaurants internationally. She has enjoyed being a part of the hospitality industry for over 16 years, and she wears many different hats, including being a part-time culinary educator at the Institute. Welcome, Chef Bridget. So nice to have you both. Now, we're discussing keeping up with consumer trends. If we could just maybe start with your overall thoughts about that particular topic, Catherine.
Well, keeping up with consumer trends, from my perspective in my industry, is really about being in the know. Yeah, being in the know as to what is happening now, what is trending now in the food and beverage industry, specific in the ice cream industry, not only locally or regionally, but internationally. You know, so looking at things like what is happening with all of this new generation, you know, ways of engaging the generation now and in the future is where Bees, as a 36-year-old company, has to, you know, make ourselves relatable, right? So for me, that's where my thoughts are with trying to ensure that I keep up with you know, the consumer trends, as well as the food experiences persons are engaging with, not only when they travel, but what they see digitally, right? So we have to make sure that we are relevant. The traditional homemade style ice cream today has to have some different types of experiences to engage the new generation and what is happening with consumers and the experiences that they want and the palettes that they want, and making sure that we have the competencies along our side, you know, to make sure that we can do that. Hence the reason Chef Bridget is here with us today.
And Chef Bridget, your thoughts on keeping up with consumer trends?
All right, so one of my main businesses is a consultant for food businesses. So Bees is one of my clients. So keeping up with consumer trends is more like, for me, from my perspective, is keeping my finger on the pulse of what's happening locally within the industry. I guess what people are, anticipating what they would like, their needs, and also keeping up on the trends internationally, globally, on the food level. So, you know, as we just spoke about digital, things in the digital world, it also affects the food and beverage industry, because like things that are trending on TikTok, Instagram, of course, people are traveling. I mean, we just had a pandemic, so we're in a lockdown. They basically traveled via Instagram, let's say, to see what's happening new around the world, because we couldn't go. So I think keeping up with those things are very important for food businesses.
And I think a lot of consumers are very concerned about, you know, the products that go into the foods that they are consuming.
Right.
They are very conscious about where the food is coming from.
Sure.
So in terms of those, what we'll say, sustainable products, how do you incorporate that into the products, and how do you also please the consumer at the same time while keeping things affordable?
Right. Let's say, for example, let me use one of our products, which is our newer product, which is the mango sorbet, right? We were able to engage farmers in Tobago because there's a surplus of mangoes
Right.
out of Tobago. So this is ensuring that we have the alignment with local farmers using our pure, real fruit in our product. And we innovated this product because there was surplus of mango there being wasted. Persons were able to get into their entrepreneurial spirit. They developed their business there. And in addition, we are able to develop a product that is catering to the lactose intolerant. So we were able to at least channel a new product catering to that lifestyle. And persons who are lactose intolerant, now they can have a dessert that is non-dairy and that is from fruits that are right here in Trinidad and Tobago.
That could technically lean into a discussion that we had yesterday with Shan Coffee Young, where she was talking about foods that would become food waste.
Right.
And you met it at the right time in the cycle to actually make this something profitable and feed a niche.
And
right?
tie into the value chain as well, right? And it is fitting for us right now. We were just able to invest in new equipment. So we have excess capacity. So we have to definitely find ways of ensuring that the throughput of those equipment really benefit the economics of the company as well.
And Chef Bridget, what about your thoughts on sustainable sourcing of foods?
Well, right now, I mean, globally, there is, let's say, a wave happening for people who are interested in eating locally more and sustainably, but also, I guess, food security, making sure that everywhere is food secure. And so the way that we could do that is to use more local products. So as Ms. Bethel just said, using local products in your items, to reduce that big import bill we have, eating locally. I'm trying to change your palate a little bit. Chefs have a big, I would say, influence in that.
Right.
Because we could take something that's local and, give it a little more international flair so that they'll be more willing to purchase.
Well, I think that has been one of the trends that because of social media that, I would say the experience that people expect from food has been lifted. They expect the food to look more visually appealing.
Visually appealing. It has to be Instagrammable.
Instagrammable, that is definitely the way.
And I think our newest item in the dessert menu, which is the fried ice cream, is doing that, right? Because what we did, we took our traditional base of ice cream, and now with the advice and the pairing of flavors from chef and the advice coming in and creating this, what people ask, what you mean? How can you take a cold product and fry it? But the innovation is there, the technology is already there. It's just all right. For here in Trinidad, let's see how bees could make a difference, change the paradigm of how people enjoy a frozen dessert. And it has been a wow experience for consumers.
We've definitely seen a big jump in interest in ice cream.
Okay, but would you definitely say that technology and innovation plays a major role in...
Less technology, but more just pushing yourself and innovating and creating new perceptions of how to do things.
And definitely we've seen because of the pandemic and lockdown that food on the go, convenience food became a major thing. And now, I mean, there was a time I remember homemade ice cream, you bought it, you kind of hung out on the pavement in St. James. And you're in your car with your family and you enjoyed the moment, but everybody is so busy now. How has that affected the industry?
Well, I believe what is happening now, you're seeing a lot of pop-ups, right? So you have to go where the persons are. Right? So many activities now, and since after the pandemic, you find people are so happy to come out. So there are lots of events now happening. So for us as agro-processors, you have a product, you have to be able to be mobile as well, to go to the locations. For example, what is happening on 139 Woodbrook Yard, we're popping up there, we're frying ice cream there, So you have to be able to move as well.
Yes, adaptability is
very key right now. Because persons... because of the pandemic, restaurants were locked down, food places were locked down. So I think it left a stray, it left a delay on persons coming out so much, going to food places to enjoy what they used to. So what is happening now? Yeah, people want some excitement. Trinidad is a island for that, right? So everywhere that is having an event, you have to, we as agro-processors, for us as bees, we have to ensure that we could be adaptable to that and pop up and show up there, to give people that new experience. So they could go and do their thing. They could Instagram and they could TikTok and do all that they want to do and get some, promotion as well for the product and what is happening.
And that will definitely lean into being mobile with your product. That will lean into being able to maybe not only accept cash, but to have some sort of a digital cashless system.
Right.
Yeah.
Navin Dukaran from Exim Bank
Yes.
was here with us earlier, as well as John
Right.
Outridge, and they were basically saying that cashless society
Yes.
is definitely the way forward. Do you agree
Yes.
with that when it
Yes.
comes
Yes,
to
because
food and
I
beverage?
think at 139 Woodbrook, yeah, just not to bring them up again, but they've started using end cash for most of the vendors, which is a Republic Bank system. And yeah, so people want to buy things online more. They don't really want to leave home. I personally hardly ever have cash on me, so. And I recently took a trip to London, and they literally just do not take cash anymore. You have to use your card.
Yeah.
Like on certain shops on the high streets, they do not take cash at all. So, I mean, we have a while to go from here because a lot of people in Trinidad are still unbanked, about 50% of our society.
Okay.
So it will be a while for us to go completely cashless, but I think, we're on our way.
And do we see bees in an e-commerce environment as we go towards maybe more online shopping?
Well, that's the direction. That is our next step,
Right.
right? So that's one of our, our strategies that we're working on right now. As I said, we really have to be in the now, and we're working on all those elements that are happening, that is trending, to make sure that we remain relevant and competitive in the industry.
So can you all give us a sneak peek of what you all have seeing consumers, what's the next trend basically when it comes to food and beverage? If you could give us a sneak peek on that.
You want to take that, Bridget?
Well, I don't think there's another new one coming, but I think it's just the convenience and leaning into digital. And people, for example, in Trinidad, like to speak about Trinidad, it took a while for restaurants here to, let's say, join Food Drop, join any delivery app. It took, because I worked with them as well, and it took a long time to convince people to join the app because they just weren't too sure if it would work. But now everybody wants to join it. So Trinidad we're not early adopters at all, but I think if more people just became more adaptable and flexible and open to doing new things and trying new things, like it could only benefit your business. It's not going to take away anything from you to try something new.
And with that, Catherine, the ice cream industry is very competitive. How do you keep your company viable in such an environment?
And it is exactly what is happening now, ensuring that we have the collaboration with the competencies that we don't have, who really have the international experience, who have the cuisine, food service experience, the optimizing of maybe, let's say, a pop-up location. Even though it's a pop-up location, we still have to have the cold chain management. We still have to have the cashless opportunities for the consumers and stuff. So it's really ensuring that we remain true to who we are. Our message is we want persons to experience bees, ice cream of Trinidad and Tobago, but in an exotic way, tasting the tropics and being true to who we are. Hence the reason we align our flavors with our local manufacturers, try our best to use those inputs from our local manufacturers and suppliers, and to ensure that the collaboration is there, so that the value chain within Trinidad and Tobago could be strengthened by us working together, and crossing industries too as well. For example, the technology coming in place, the banking sector coming in place, for example, with what is happening with Republic Bank. So I think it's an ecosystem that all of us as manufacturers, service providers, expertise in Trinidad and Tobago need to come together to make Trinidad and Tobago a better place. And that's the direction that we're going. Be exotic, using bees ice cream, try our fried ice cream. Let us continue being true to who we are, and keeping the remembrance of the tropical flavors that we grew up on, true and relevant. Because sometimes you ask children if they know what let's say a tonka bean is. They don't know, but tonka bean has a beautiful flavor, and that's a next, something next on the table. So that's what I could say, about us as a company being true to who we are in Trinidad and Tobago, working together to keep our industry alive.
That sounds very exciting because I have no idea what a tonka bean tastes like. And as you talk about Trinidad and Tobago, how does our diverse culture play a role in Bees ice cream and even consumer trends, Chef Bridget?
Well, I travel all over the Caribbean for work. And people say I'm biased when I say that we have the best food in Trinidad and Tobago. But we kind of do. But I just don't fight about it anymore. I just try to encourage people to come here. Because we have so many cultures here, our food is very unique. We have a lot of offerings. We have a lot of similarities with other islands, but we are the only place that has all the offerings, And yes, so I think we can capitalize on the different cultures we have. And we love food here. I feel like Trinidadians love to eat. We love going out to eat. You kind of see it, like there's a big uptake now on markets. There's food halls, market spaces, all over Port of Spain. Now it's in like Sandy Grande, San Fernando, we have the Cross. So food has taken over.
And Catherine, how does Bees incorporate our diverse culture into?
Well, we have to because, when you think of ice cream, you think of the main product that you must have for celebration, the main product that you must have, for any cultural activity. Right. It's what persons want, they deserve, they want the ice cream. So, for example, I saw also ice cream chef. She presented a curry ice cream yesterday. So that was, but for us, we have to ensure, like, for example, the Muslim community, we have to make sure that we are Halal certified. So all our inputs have to comply with the Halal certification. So we could, ensure that they are okay with the product based on their needs. Right? And it's like that. It is understanding the different cultures and adapting what we're offering to ensure that we have the compliance with the different cultures and being in the spaces and the celebrations that are happening throughout Trinidad and Tobago.
And what I'm hearing you say there is social responsibility that comes with producing Bees ice cream.
Of course.
All right?
Definitely.
So as we wrap up our discussion on keeping up with consumer trends, any parting words? Anything we may have missed, but you're feeling like we covered everything.
I feel like I covered everything.
Yeah, we covered everything, but just visit Bees booth and try our new red wine ice cream. Try our fried ice cream. Try our taro ice cream. And try our chocolate because it's Trinitario cocoa. And that's what I mean by, aligning with local, because we don't just use cocoa powder. It's our local cocoa. It's in our chocolate. So that's what I want to say, and I wish everyone, all the producers, just the best, and that we could all work together to make each and every part that we are playing in our own spaces, benefit the essence of Trinidad and Tobago and who we represent in the Caribbean.
I love that. Unification will take the food and beverage industry even further.
Yes.
Thank you so much,
You're
Catherine
welcome.
Bethel and Chef Bridget Joseph, for discussing keeping up with consumer trends here, the Caribbean Food and Beverage Expo 2023 here at the Center of Excellence.